Well, hopefully your diagnostic 2-day exam went well. Let's analyze the results. You're going to want to click into the Day 3 Analyze Your Results green puzzle piece assessment, and it's going to walk you through some of the stuff that's in the packet is going to be on the screen. So the first thing you need to do to see how your results went is just follow it. Follow my directions. Step 1 says look back at your multiple choice test. Identify the number that you got correct. The total green puzzle piece was set at 40 points, so you have 1 point per question. If you look at the total, you can figure out what that was. You're going to put your total number of correct here on your paper in your packet, times it by 1.25, and that's going to be your weighted score. Now for step 2 is going to take a little bit more work. For step 2, go back and look at the free response assessment for day 2 online. If you click into that, you're going to see the answers and the scoring rubrics. You need to take a moment now, so you're probably going to need to pause the video when you do this. You're going to go in and actually correct all 6 of your free responses to the best of your ability. Look at the final scoring rubrics for all 6 questions and give yourself a score 1 through 4. Then apply the multiplier and get what your final answer is and sum that. So then you are going to have a score for your multiple choice and a weighted score for your free response. So again, if you need to, pause the video, take some time and score these to the best of your ability, clicking back into the day 2 to pull up the answers. I do want you to record your final results within this assessment. So you're going to see the next question actually asks, what was your weighted score for multiple choice and free response? And then do the total composite, which is going to ask you right here. All you have to do for total composite is add the 2 together to get the score. So please type that in. Then look at your total composite score and see, per the AP guidelines, what would be the final score they would have given you on the test as a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and record that here in the red section. So if you're going into the test on May 17th with the same amount of knowledge, this would probably be the score you would get as of now. But again, we have 15 more days here of prep and refresher, and I think that's going to help every single one of you get a better, stronger score than what you're seeing today. That's what this test prep is about, and that's why I really want you to take the next 15 days very seriously. So let's go analyze our results and see what we know and what we don't know by learning objective. As you continue on in the assessment, it's going to say, let's actually look and see, of those 40 multiple choice questions, what I knew of the various learning objectives. So there's a feature in Schoology you may have never used. If you go onto Schoology and you look at the right or the left-hand side where you see like materials and grades, there's an icon called Mastery, and this is what we're going to use. The multiple choice test you just took for the diagnostic had learning objectives assigned to every question. All of the chapter reviews that you did over the last 12 chapters also had those reviews assigned to it. And then the reviews that you do in the next 15 days, those multiple choice questions have learning objectives assigned to them. What you want to do, if you click on the Mastery within here, within AP Stats, it is going to show you by the learning objectives that are related to the questions how well you did. So once you click on Mastery, what you're going to see is you probably are going to have some results. You're going to notice here this was the Chapter 10 review, Chapter 11 review, and now it's the Day 1 diagnostic. You probably have some results here because if you did the review, it's going to show you what you know for that learning objective. We're just going to focus on the diagnostic for right now. What you can do is just scroll down on this page and you're going to see all the learning objectives that are in our second semester course. So remember, second semester was chapters 8 through 12 and now our review. So if any of the chapter reviews from 8 through 12 and the review had learning objectives, you will see those learning objectives. And that's what this is telling you about. So what do the things mean? One of the things you can do is you can click on the word grade up here. This will actually sort it by your letter grade as 100% versus 0%. I like seeing the 100% first, but you can change it however you like. Now, if you look here what I talk about what the color coding means, the bars are going to change color. You could have a dark green, a light green, or a red bar. If you have a light green bar, it means you meet expectations. You've had 70 to 89% of the questions related to that learning objective correct. If you have a dark green bar, it means you exceed expectations. You have 90% or higher of the questions related to that learning objective correct. If you also have a green star next to it, it means you are a mastery at that, in that at least 2 questions were correct that were related to it. So if this learning objective had, let's say, 4 questions and you got at least 2 of those right, they're going to give you a green star. You're going to notice over here, these don't have any stars because I didn't master it. You have to have at least 2 or more questions correct in that category. So now you need to go to your packet. In the note packet, you're going to see a handful of pages of every learning objective from chapters 1 through 12. I want you to use this. Use the paper list that's probably in your packet and record the percent correct for each learning objective in the diagnostic exam column. What that means is whatever percent you got for these various learning objectives that are listed, you're going to record. So for example, your learning objectives are clearly going to start with chapter 1. If, for example, on learning objective 1.3c, if on the diagnostic you got 100%, go to your column on diagnostic and just write in 100% for that one. Okay. If maybe a different learning objective, you only had 85%, go ahead and record that. Do this for all of the learning objectives that showed up in those 40 questions. Keeping in mind, there might be more than 40 learning objectives or even fewer than 40 learning objectives because some of them may overlap on various questions. Now, if you want to dive deeper in that, what I would recommend is look at that report again. And this one, because it was first semester, is just going to show us chapters 8 through 12. Go into chapters 8 through 12 and you can make the connection on what you knew for that. You could look at the bar on how it was recorded, and you can use these columns as you need and record how you knew the learning objectives back when you were preparing for that test. If you want to go and look how you did at first semester, chapters 1 through 7 is in our first semester course. So we're going to have to go into the course archives to find that and then click on the mastery there. Let me show you how to find that if you want to. Now, if you want to dive deeper, what I would recommend, to find your course that's been archived, all you need to do is go up to courses and click on that. And you're going to see your online AP stats there. But if you click the See All button, what it's going to show you is all the current courses that you have, and it typically defaults to current. You're going to notice the word archived. If you click archived, you will actually see our first semester online AP stats class, probably with some of your other courses you're taking. So click on that course to get the first semester course results, and then go to Its Mastery icon, and then you can analyze chapters 1 through 7 if you want to see how you did by those learning objectives. I would say for chapters 1 through 12, the review, it's not required that you go back and record it in the learning objective, but you might find it interesting to analyze your results of what you knew of that chapter back when you took the original test. So now that you've recorded what you know by learning objective for the multiple choice, I did not break down the free response by that, but you can hopefully look at your 6 free response questions and see where they're connected. What I want you to do is the last bit here. It says in step 5, based on your analysis, rank the 4 topics in order of importance. What should you study the most importantly in your review, and what's the least important? Again, chapter 4, keep in mind, was planning a study. So if your performance scores in chapter 4 are pretty low, you might want to drop and drag that one top. If statistical inference, which is chapters 8 through 12, was great, your best, put it at the bottom. So just go ahead and put these in order of the topics that you think you should study. The next question is, I just want you to lay out a study plan for the next 15 days. Basically, this is going to be a goal for you in the 15 days. How are you going to plan for this? Is your plan to stay on pace and to do an assignment, the daily assignment every day? Is it to get caught up on the weekend? Is it how? So please, for this, type up a paragraph or so of how you plan to prepare for this review. A lot of you are taking multiple AP exams. Maybe you're not planning on preparing or reviewing on those days. So just give yourself a game plan. And then I also would like to know anything that I can do to help support you during these last 15 days of review. Guys, it's fair game. Whatever I can do to help, please let me know. And I'll try to make accommodations and help you get ready so you can be very successful on May 17th.